Well, Hush Hush Viz is here today for ozcomic in Brisbane, and I've got Luke Baines with me. Hi, Luke.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm really good, yeah.
It's so cool to have you here.
It's really nice to be here. I haven't been home in I think 2 or 3 years, so it's really nice to be back.
Where's home for
Home
you?
is Sydney,
Sydney.
But I went to university on the Gold Coast, so...
Which one?
Bond.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Bond.
Well,
the very upclass one.
Well, it's also the only one where you can fast track your degree. Because I didn't really
Yes.
want to do a degree. It was mostly to please my parents. And I thought, you know what? If I'm gonna do a degree, I did a business degree, and I thought if I'm gonna do it, I want to get it in and out in 2 years. That sounds wonderful. So it's the only university in Australia that does that.
And was it a Bachelor of Arts?
Yeah, Bachelor of Business, major in communications.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, cool. So you've got the snipes on that
Well,
one.
I've got it. Look, it has actually come in handy a few times. I mean, I've received a contract or two and been like, "Hang on, guys, what's this?" And they're like, "Oh, well, it's." And I was like, "Yes, I can read a contract. Please don't do that." I'm like, I'm not just a stupid actor, but yeah.
Yeah. Page 5.
Yeah, I'm like, what's happening?
Paragraph.
They're like, "Oh, don't worry about that." I'm like, I am worrying about that, but
Good.
change it.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
That's good. It's good to see an actor in control.
Yeah, well. Yeah, you have to. There's a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
Yes, there is, isn't it, in this business?
Yeah.
So basically, I'm going to start with, you were born in Manchester, but you came out when you were 3, and you started acting when you were 5.
Well, sort of. Okay. It's funny how you say something in an interview once and then it just gets written into law. When I was 5, I watched E.T. with my mum and my parents, and I remember saying to her, I could do that, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And she was like, all right, so she put me in acting classes and I kind of started there, and that's really where I caught the bug for it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it wasn't until I was 14 that I went to the McDonald College in Sydney, which is a performing arts school, and then started taking it really seriously as though it could be a profession.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, who was your first acting teacher?
Oh, wow. I mean, I have, I would say the first one that stood out would be a woman named Linda Lorenza. And she was really lovely. She also taught me music and drama, so it was really nice crossover. Because at that point I was really interested in musical theatre, and so it was nice to kind of bridge that gap.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you got your first break with Home and Away.
Well, no, I would say I would say the first ever job that I did was literally was like one line as a school kid, and I think I was credited as school kid in like a Channel 10 show called The Cooks, and I was so excited about it. I remember we shot it in Newtown on one of the main streets, and I think they even made me wear my own school uniform, and I just remember how much fun it was. But it really, my big break, if you want to call it, didn't really happen until I moved to America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's where it all.
Yeah. So I took a detour after I finished performing arts school, and I went to university and did a business degree because I didn't want to be a struggling actor who couldn't survive, and then I moved to London and got a real job for a couple of years, and then I kind of got lured back into the arts.
In the arts,
yeah,
and that's the sort of pathway, isn't it? You have to get something to sort of survive, to really wait, to get the parts in this business.
Yeah,
and and you've got such a strong slate now with film and TV that is it from about 2013 that it started to really...
Sure. I don't know dates, but yes, I would say that actually because I've been in LA. It'll be 9 years in December. So yeah, I would say 2013. What happened was I was in London. I met this casting director at a party, and she was like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "I work in corporate communications," because that's what I was doing at the time. And she's like, no, you don't, you're an actor. And I was like, I used to be an actor. She was like, come and audition for me, I've got the right role for you. And I said, I can't, I have a full-time job. She's like, I'll do the audition on a Saturday. And I said, okay. So I went and auditioned for her. And it was for the West End version of Spring Awakening, which was coming over from Broadway. And it was the Broadway creatives, and they were bringing the musical to the UK. And I ended up auditioning for the project for 6 months, and then I did a workshop for them. And it was just, I remember after my first audition, I cried because I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is all I want to do with my life. And I didn't end up getting the role.